Well, first of all, Florida has a law that prohibits having law enforcement in polling places because of our terrible history of violence and allowing the Klan to hurt people and the massacres that we've had in our state. One being at Ocoee in Central Florida that people are learning more about because one person wanted to vote. They massacred, over 60 people and burnt their homes down and their businesses. So because of our history, Florida enacted this law. So this whole thing about the election police is really going in the opposite direction, in the wrong direction. And because you have this force of people who believe the lies about improper voting and elections being stolen, they're busy looking for things that don't exist. And so a person can make an accusation, and all of a sudden their neighbor or someone they don't like or the supervisor of election, you can be accused of doing something wrong, and just having the election police, who are Florida Department of Law Enforcement officers, turn up and ask questions. Maybe you have to get a lawyer. Maybe your job is in danger. It is a very threatening thing. And the governor chose to have a big press conference during our primary, just before the primaries, and they arrested 20 people who had finished their incarceration. They had felony convictions, most of whom had been told by a governmental entity, you can register to vote. And so they were so happy they did. And so one older gentleman was taken out of his home in his underwear. He wasn't even allowed to put on his clothing. There was a SWAT team and there was a helicopter. It seems to be a lot of staging to address the fears and to build up a base of support when there are many other violations of people voting twice that were not treated in the same way. Those people that happened to vote for President Trump twice, and what about, they are getting misdemeanors and they're able to, get a probation and their record's going to be cleared. Not one of them had a SWAT team, and they knew about those. What about the people who changed people's party affiliation without their knowledge, changing it that we know to a Republican? Nothing's been said about those. Where's the SWAT team? So it's the way it's already been utilized in terms of the enforcement mechanisms has been very one-sided. And there is a lot of fear in communities. I was just at a conference of the Florida Rights Restoration Coalition, and they work with returning citizens, and that was discussed a great deal. We don't want to stop people from even trying to learn if they can vote, if the penalty is going to be go back to prison.